So last week we touched on an issue that you're always going to have when you start looking at proper systems in your business. Right? Manual data entry. You're just going to get such poor data quality from it. It's just, you get typos, you get spelling mistakes, you get all sorts, right? Whatever you want to call it, it'll happen. How can we get around it though? All right, lads and lasses, welcome along. Weekend work. So, data quality issues that you're going to get faced with. Right? This is a reality. There is no way I've ever found to avoid it. So I thought, let's just hit it head on and see how we can work through it. Right? This is an issue that we've got in our data that we can see here on this left-hand side chart. Right? We've got Isaac's Brothers Inc. Isaac's Brothers Inc. American Pie and Tank, American Pie ampersand Tank, right? It doesn't get better as you go through this data set, okay? There are just shocking amounts of okay? And that's fine, right? That's nothing wrong with New York. There's no problem with that. That's just the nature of what you're going to get when you've got individuals filling out a form, which is effectively what you've got. Somebody is filling out a form and they will put shorthand in. So I think when we looked at it, we had someone just said Isaacs. I can't really fault the people. This is where validation steps come in. So we can see we've got the problem. It's clearly in front of us. Where do we go? Let's start with the data. In inspections, we can copy the column and we can bring that through into Excel. In Excel, we can then deduplicate it, so remove the duplicates. And as you can see, we're left with 477 rows of unique data. By making that a table, we can then start the process of going through and manually cleansing that data. Add the right information in, aggregate and combine the groups. And you can now see what that looks like when that's finished. The next step is to import that into your data flow. So pretend we've done that and skip on over to our data flow. All right, so here we are, back at our super user community. Now let's click and let's start looking into this workflow that we've got. So if we click on here, we can go to edit the workflow. This is going to take us through. We can then choose to edit it again, and we're now going to edit the workflow. And remember that when you go in here and you ever save and close, you remove the data. Okay, so it will blitz your data. So you have to refresh it. What we've got to do first is let's have a look at these. Now I'm going to go with a simple way of doing this that's going to be less pressure on my servers as we do the refresh. This is still in the shared service area. I've deliberately left this in. You can see I'm using premium per user, but I've left this in the shared area. So we'll try and minimize the impact of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on the inspection by firm. And we're going to change the type, transform it to lowercase. And then what we're going to do is change inspected by to text. And then we'll do the same with the tested by. So for here, we're going to choose to transform the column to lowercase. And then for the tested by, we're going to change that to text. So now if we come in to inspections, what we can see is if we come here, and right click on it again, we can choose to transform that to lowercase, and we've now got lowercase for the match. And let's do the same with the other one, just so that we've got a consistency in terms of our steps. So lab name, we'll right click on that, and we're going to set that under text, transform to lowercase. So the next step is going to be to merge queries. We're going to merge the inspected by firm from inspected by firm. Click OK. We can see it's come back with a nice match. It's happened quickly. Okay, that's now matched that. We can now do another merge. And this time we'll merge the lab name from tested by with lab. And we'll see that comes through quickly. Now, if you hadn't gone with the lowercase text, what you might find you needed to do, in fact, I know what you'd need to do, is to tick the use fuzzy logic or the fuzzy matching and tick to at least ignore case. I wouldn't recommend matching a combined text parts, right? Ignore case. What you'll find though is it will really slow down the processing. So we'll leave it off and click OK. So we've now got our two merges built. Over on the far side, if we click on tested by first, just untick that, and we're going to tick tested by, and then we'll do the same with the inspected by, untick that, inspected by. So we've now simplified the texts and we've got much more clarity over what's in there. So if we now choose to save and close, it's going to close our data flow, and then we're going to hit to refresh now, and that's going to refresh and build it. And then we can reconnect our Power BI report content to it and remap our reports so that they actually use these cleansed fields instead of like the unclean fields in the other one. So what did you reckon then? Okay, we had a look, didn't we? We saw that the data cleanse, no matter what you do, and no matter what option you're going to go with, you're going to have to do that manual trawl of the data. So you're going to have to come up with a way of identifying or having somebody who's going to track and see how many blanks have we got in this row. So what you end up with then is a case of, I'm still going to have to do something within the service. And in a data flow, that's entirely possible. You can do it within Power BI desktop as well. Right? And then, of course, it'll do it in the service when you publish it up. The question kind of comes down to how much work and effort are you prepared to put into it, or do you want to load into it? What's the impact on the system? So the minimum impact would be if you set everything to, say, be lowercase, right? We're going to drop everything down in our join column to lowercase and push lowercase through it. Right? That'll work. That's going to give you, 99% result based on you doing a good manual cleanse first. The other option is to allow some ambiguity processing, that fuzzy match. But that is going to add to your complexity in terms of the algorithm that's going to run. And what you find, especially if you're running it on the shared service, although to a certain extent you'll find it on the in premium as well, is that you're going to have a slower process. So I think we clocked it as around a minute, and with full fuzzy logic implied, it was over 10 minutes to do it. So, a tenfold increase. So there you go. What do you reckon then? You're going to give that a go, fix these up, and then you'll see we'll roll these all in. We can start to combine everything, and we've got like a nice data set, I think, coming through now. I'm actually really liking this data set. It's very good. This might be a very good sample one that we're going to use. I'm going to keep using this. I'm looking at it growing. I'm watching 2021, watching that kind of slowly grow. So I don't know. Let us know. Like and subscribe down below. Let us know what you think. Something you'd like to see, any issues that you've got, challenges. Let us know. So for now, have a great weekend. Take care and stay safe. Ta-da.